Hey, what is going on guys, and welcome to the first episode of Euro Misfits. This is a brand new series on my channel which is Euro 2016 themed, where I've created a squad full of lots of players that didn't make it to the Euros with the mission of getting them there. Now I'll be explaining the objectives and rules to this series in full in just a moment's time, but first I want to say a big thank you to all of you on Twitter who decided that for my next series I make it a challenge series as opposed to a regular manager or player career mode. I'm always willing to let you guys decide on what I do next, and so I'm really excited to share this new project with you, and I really hope you enjoy it. Now in Euro Misfits, I've transferred 30 players who we won't see at the Euros for any number of different reasons, from bad form to international retirement, and from injury problems to nations not qualifying, to an Australian League team to play together. Central Coast Mariners are the side I'll be using for the kits alone mainly, and will be in a Super League alongside 17 other teams featuring some of the very best in the world. Before I show you the teams we'll be facing, however, I'm going to show you the nations represented and the players that are currently on my team. Now I've chosen 30 different players from 9 separate nations: Germany, the Netherlands, France, England, Italy, Spain, Belgium, Portugal and Denmark all have 3 representatives, and from Greece I've chosen 2 players and 1 from Switzerland. And these are the 30 players I've chosen in full from these nations: Diego Benaglio, Mattia Perrine, Jack Butland, Danny Carvajal, Rafael Varane, Vincent Kompany, Costas Manolas, Simon Kjaer, Fabio Contral, Luke Shaw, Eric Durm, Ian Robin, Juan Mata, Theo Walcott, Marco Verratti, Andrea Pirlo, Ilkay Gundogan, Thiago, the Portuguese midfielder, Marco Reus, Adnan Januzaj, Kevin Morales, Samir Nasri, Isco, Wesley Sneijder, Christian Eriksen, Danny, Karim Benzema, Robin van Persie, Kostas Pachoglou and Nicholas Bentner. Now I've chosen these 30 players, all of which will not be competing at this year's Euros, and of course my objective will be to get them there. These are the series objectives in full, and also the rules as well. Now the objectives to this series are pretty simple, but I'll try to explain them to you as simply as possible anyway, to make them very easy to understand. We have to win 2 of the 3 competitions that are able to be won in the first season. Those competitions are the League, the Cup and the European competition. We can have any combination of the 3, but the most important thing is that we must win at least 2 out of the 3, otherwise we fail the objective. A minimum of 15 of our 30 players must be selected for their national teams for Euro 2016 at the end of the season. We can have more, but we simply must get at least half, otherwise we fail this objective as well. And at least one of our representatives must go on to win the Euros with their nation. So that means at least one of the 30 players we have in our squad must get called up to and win the Euros come the end of the season. Now let's take a look at the series rules and show the restrictions I have in place throughout the season. Now the series rules are very simple to follow. The first is that I'm only allowed to have a maximum of 2 players from one nation playing at the same time. This means if I had 2 of my 3 Spanish players playing, for example, I couldn't sub on the third unless I sacrificed one of the 2 already playing. And the second rule is that I'm not allowed to have more than 3 players from one nation in my squad at all times. This means that if I wanted to sign another German player who didn't make the Euros, like Bellarabi for example, I could, but only through sacrificing one of Eric Durm, Ilkay Gundogan or Marco Reus. My squad size can get smaller, but it can't get bigger, and at no point am I permitted to have 4 or more players from one nation in my team. And the third rule is a very simple one. There is no training allowed at any point throughout this entire series. That means that all the player growth will be natural and no training is allowed to enhance their stats. Now you know the objectives and the rules, let me show you the teams we'll be competing with for 2 of the 3 trophies we'll be aiming to win. In the League and Cup we face Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Chelsea, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Juventus, Manchester City, Manchester United, Lyon, PSG, Real Madrid, Roma, Benfica, Valencia, Wolfsburg and Zenit St. Petersburg. And in the Champions League there are some fantastic teams as well. Lots of 4 and 4.5 star teams we'll be competing with, as we aim to win at least 2 of the 3 trophies, and if we don't win at least 2, this series will be considered a massive failure. And of course that's just one of the 3 objectives, and what makes this series really hard is that the other 2 objectives we don't have much control over. All we can do is showcase the talents of these players, but ultimately a lot of the nations still still may not want to call up these players to their squads. They may not even make the Euros themselves, and of course at least one of our players has to win the Euros as well. Now for those two objectives I have literally no control over whatsoever, so this series is going to be a really hard challenge, not just to perform well on the pitch and get results and get trophies, but also to showcase just how good these players are and make sure the AI do select them for their Euro 2016 squads. Now you've seen the squad report and know how good these players are. This is how I'll be lining them up, at least to begin with. Once again, I'm not allowed to have more than 2 players from one nation on the pitch at any one time, so this means there may be some games where due to injuries or suspensions I'll have to alter and shuffle my lineup to ensure I comply with that rule. Regardless, this is still a really awesome team, so despite this being a tough challenge, I'm confident I can at least hold up my end of the bargain and win 2 of the 3 trophies. It'll be tough, but if I can meet objective 1, then I've done all I can do. It will then be up to the nations to decide whether I've done enough to show them why my players deserve to be in with a shot to win the Euros by being called up to their squads. Now for this series you'll see the results of every game, although some may be simulated on camera. However, you'll still most likely see at least 3 or 4 play games per episode, and each game will be commentated over live. This may only be a 1-season series, but every episode will be extremely important as each one will contain valuable game time for me to perform with the players, get them into good form, and give them the best chance of being called up to the Euros possible. With only 17 teams in what could be an extremely close league campaign, every result will matter, and we start off the season today with a game against Benfica. Now if there's anything you still need explaining, please feel free to leave me a comment and I'll try to get around to answering. Otherwise, I'm sure another viewer could help you out with any questions you may have. I'm really excited for this series and hope you guys are as well. Enjoy the rest of the episode, and here's hoping that come the end of the series, I'll be able to meet all 3 of my objectives as I aim to prove why these guys are not to be considered Euro Misfits. Alright, so let's get going then. First game of the series. Can we get a win? And can some of these players show exactly why, right from the get-go, they should be making the squad for the Euros come the end of the season? Let's find out. Pirlo on the ball. What can he do? The old dog. Nice ball through towards Robin. In fact, great ball through towards Robin. That's why Pirlo, despite his age, should be considered for selection. Nice turn by Robin as well. Cutting inside. Iron Robin could go for goal straight away. Good save by Cesar. Turns behind for a corner. Gaitan for Benfica, through towards Jonas, and that's a terrible ball. And now a chance on the break here as Verratti finds Marco Reus, holds it up here, plays it through towards Verratti, now towards Isco. Man out wide is Robin. Is that going to carry to him? No, but it's going to come to Robin now as he robs his man, gets inside the area and goes for goal, and finds the back of the net. And with 8 minutes to go in the first half, Iron Robin opens the scoring. What a finish! It was a poor ball, but a mistake by the Benfica man. He didn't control it well. Robin robbed it off his toes, took it round him, and what a finish that is. Cutting in from the right, shooting with his left, one of Robin's best strengths, and what a fantastic finish in off that far post to the back of the net. Iron Robin gets the series underway with the first goal. Well done, son. Half time, and so far so good. We lead by a goal. That man's got it. Iron Robin finishing the chance really well. He's been our best player in the first half. Played well, and you can see by the stats of the break, a bit of a slow burner in the first half. We've had a bit more of the ball, but Benfica's pass accuracy is higher. We've both had 2 shots each. We've had more on target though. Can Benfica respond in the second half? They'll have to, otherwise we'll win on the opening day. Despite the amount of quality teams in the Super League, I would still say we are one of the best, so we should definitely be considered not necessarily firm favourites to win this competition, but I certainly think we'd be up there, so we need to get off to a good start, and so far so good. Yes, Isco, good tackle, and as Robin continues his run, he could be sent down the right hand side here, and he is, and he cuts inside with the Berber spin. Iron Robin through towards Verratti, takes it round his man. Marco Verratti dances, turns and shoots. Great save by Cesar, and surely Benzema will turn in the rebound. 2-0 to the Euro Misfits, and Karim Benzema has his first of the competition. Great work by Robin and Verratti. The little man cuts inside, turns his defender, goes for goal. Good save by Cesar initially, but no defenders helping him out. Benzema with a free header puts it in. 2-0. What a great start to the season. I mean, I say that like the game's over. There's 40 minutes left, but I'm feeling pretty confident. Very, very good start. But again, no matter how well we do, we still need to showcase these players to the nations come the end of the season, and they're good enough to be going on the plane to the Euros. So it could be a good start, this one, and it's looking that way, but certainly is going to still be a big challenge for us because we have no control over what the nations decide to do. So these players here can't just have one good game and that'll be enough. They need to keep on performing all season long. As Pirlo receives the corner and goes for goal. Oh my goodness, if that went in, that would have been glorious. Alright, so I wanted to bring on Mata and Gundogan for Verratti and Pirlo, but if I do that, I'll have 3 Spaniards on the pitch, and of course we can't do that. So one of the Spaniards will have to get sacrificed, and what I think I might do is take off Danny Carvajal for Luke Shaw and play Contral as the right back. So obviously I'm not allowed to have any more than 2 players from the same nationality on the pitch at the same time, so that means that now we can have Mata and Isco on the pitch, and of course Carvajal will come off, and he's our 3rd Spaniard, so that's okay, and that will be the 3 changes. I think this rule will make things a little bit more interesting as well, because if a player gets injured and we don't have a suitable replacement because we'll go over the 2-player limit, then that will make it quite difficult for me to shuffle things around a little bit and play players in unfamiliar positions. So just an extra rule to make things a little more difficult, but for this one, not too big of a deal because we're leading by 2 and only half an hour to go. Oh, great ball by Taratto, and a chance here for Benfica to get back in the game, and they have, literally just after those substitutions. Or I thought with half an hour to go we would be plain sailing, but Adel Tarat making some magic, playing the ball through. What a through ball this was, a great passing move, and talk about a fantastic finish. There is no chance of Benaglio, and that is just a brilliant strike with the outside the right boot, and Benfica are back in this game. It's 2-1 and we were doing fine. We weren't under any pressure at all, but that is a fantastic finish, and the Portuguese side have half the deficit. So 26, 27 minutes to go, and you never know, Benfica could come back to nick a point. Great catch by Benaglio from the corner, and quickly kicks it long towards Robben. And Robben, oh, that's a brilliant first touch by Iron Robben. And a chance here as he goes down the right side. He's the only player for us in the opposition half here. Robben cuts inside. Man at the far post is Marco Reus, who, wow, that was terrible. And then Cesar just thought, why not punch it instead of catch it? I do not know why Cesar decided to punch that ball. That seemed like such an easy catch. It was uncontested. He was under no pressure. But maybe just did it for the cameras. Not entirely sure. How did Company keep that ball in play? Well done, son. Now back to Benaglio, and he'll launch it long towards Marco Reus. He'll try and flick it on towards Benzema, and he did. And now a chance on the break here. Benzema through towards Marco Reus down this left-hand side. Marco Reus has the pace and the space, and surely the finish. No! Great save by Cesar, and he keeps Benfica in the game for now as Robben goes down. Clean challenge. Correct decision by the referee not to give a penalty. And that is that. We win on match day 1 of this series. We beat Benfica in the season opener. A solid win for us. Robben definitely man of the match. He played very, very well and scored our first goal too, and sort of caused the second if you want, with his shot being stilled by Cesar. Benfica did get back in the game in half the deficit, but we do get the 3 points. That's the way to start the series. And you can see the stats right here as well. I did think we deserved to edge this game, but Benfica did not play too badly at all, and we were cruising at 2-0. They did very well to get back in the game though, and caused us a little bit of a sweat towards the end of the game. We still got the 3 points, so that's the most important thing. I felt we just about deserved it, and man of the match does indeed go to not Benaglio, but Ian Robben for scoring the first and causing the second, if you will. The most dangerous player on the pitch by far, and certainly deserving of the first man of the match of the series. And that will end the first episode of Euro Misfits, so a big thank you for watching, guys. I really hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you're excited for this series. I certainly am. Should be a really fun challenge to see how many of these players we can get to the Euros come the end of the season, and whether we can deliver and win 2 of the 3 trophies we'll be going for. But thank you for watching the episode regardless. Please do leave a like if you have enjoyed it, and I'll see you for the second episode of Euro Misfits very soon.